basically a introduction and a basics of intellectual property, wherein you will be knowing that which intellectual property belongs to your creativity. So after this lecture, I hope that every one of you have whatever you have done in your life, whatever creativity, whatever like technological creativity or something like that, you will be able to know that what you have to do with that, and in which IP you can take a protection for that. So before starting this, I want to tell you that I have a request that it should be an interactive session, because I won't be knowing, because participants are less. It can be beneficial, we can have a benefit of it, that we can be interactive and you can be as clear as possible. बिकॉज जब ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेंट्स होते हैं तो वैसे भी हम इतना इंटरेक्ट नहीं कर पाते और सबसे नहीं पूछ पाते हैं, बट सिंस हम लोग कम है, तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि एटलीस्ट जितने भी हम 5-6 जितने भी लोग हैं यहाँ पे, वो सभी को ये पता हो कि व्हाट वी आर लर्निंग एंड हाउ वी कैन गेट बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ इट. तो इसके लिए जो इंटरेक्टिव मैं जो बोल रही हूँ, उसके लिए मैं सबसे पहले जानना चाहूंगी सभी को. आप लोग चैट बॉक्स में आंसर दे सकते हैं, आई डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम. एवरी टाइम यू डोंट हैव टू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड से समथिंग. बट स्टार्ट करेंगे हम सबसे पहले इस बात से कि आप लोगों में से कितने लोग हैं जिनके पास कुछ क्रिएटिविटी की हुई है जो आप बिलीव करते हैं कि वो आपकी है. जैसे कि आप सिर्फ मुझे ये बताइए कि जितने भी लोग हैं, सिर्फ मुझे चैट बॉक्स में ये बताइए कि कितने लोगों ने यहाँ पे बुक्स लिखी है, किसी ने पेंटिंग्स की है, जो दे फील कि ये हमारी पेंटिंग है, ये हमारी क्रिएटिविटी है, ये हमारी बुक है, हमने खुद से लिखी है, देयर इज नो इन्फ्रिंजमेंट, हमने कहीं से कॉपी नहीं की है. या आपने कुछ ऐसा डिवाइस बनाया है साइंस बैकग्राउंड से रिलेटेड, जिसमें टेक्नोलॉजी आती हो, डिवाइस बनाया हो, कोई मेथड जनरेट की हो, कोई दवाई बनाई हो, कोई भी चीज, वॉट एवर यू हैव डन. और सम एस्थेटिक फील लाइक हम लोग मैंने देखा हमारे वुमेन ग्रुप में काफी सारे लोग हैं जो ज्वेलरी एंड ये सब से भी जुड़े हुए हैं. सो आई वांट टू नो कि कोई आप में से ऐसा है जिन्होंने अपनी खुद की कोई डिजाइन ज्वेलरी की डिजाइन की है, या फिर कुछ लोग कशीदा वर्क में होते हैं, साड़ीज के डिजाइन करते हैं, या जो वे प्रिंटिंग करते हैं, या फिर हमने बॉटल जो होती है, बॉटल्स हो गई, वॉचेस हो गई, उसका हमने कोई नया डिजाइन किया है. तो आप में से कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने इनमें से कोई भी एक एक्टिविटी की है, आप सिर्फ उसका नाम लिखिए कि डिजाइन, या फिर बुक लिखा है तो बुक लिखिए. सिर्फ वन वर्ड आंसर भी होगा तो भी चलेगा. अगर आप लोग ये देते हैं तो मुझे ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा, मतलब मुझे आप लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करने में आसानी होगी. and it will be a fun session for all of us, क्योंकि you will be learning and you will be loving this session, क्योंकि हम लोगों को बहुत सारी चीजें हमारे बारे में नहीं पता है. Okay, so Swati ma'am said paintings, then Ishita Instagram page about brands plus some paintings. Okay, and बाकी लोग और भी 3-4 लोग हैं. मुझे लगता है हम सब ने कभी ना कोई क्रिएटिविटी तो की होती है. आइदर वी राइट पोएम्स, वी राइट वन लाइनर्स, वी डू पेंटिंग, वी मेक सम क्रिएटिव थिंग्स, और वी राइट बुक्स. और अगर हम साइंस की तरफ ओरिएंटेड है तो हमने साइंस में कुछ ऐसे मेथड, सिर्फ अगर हमने कोई आइडिया भी सोचा है तो यू कैन राइट दैट साइंटिफिक आइडिया. तो मुझे पता रहेगा कि आप में से कितने लोग किस डोमेन में फॉल करते हैं, सो दैट आई कैन फोकस ऑन दैट. ओके, सोशल इश्यूज पे आप लिखते हैं, दैट्स ग्रेट. दैट इज वी कैन से एज अ ब्लॉग्स और आर्टिकल्स यू आर राइटिंग. ओके, नाइस. और बाकी 3-4 लोगों का भी, मैं जो बचे हैं उनका भी मैं रिप्लाई सुनना चाहूंगी, सो दैट वी कैन स्टार्ट द सेशन. एंड एवरी टाइम आई कैन टेल यू कि आपने जो किया है उसका कहाँ पे हम प्रोटेक्शन ले सकते हैं और कहाँ से हम उसका बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं. अदर्स प्लीज शेयर योर व्यूज. ओके, सो मुझे लगता है बाकी लोगों ने अभी तक सोचा नहीं है कि और कौन सी क्रिएटिविटी में आपने अभी तक कोई क्रिएटिविटी की है. सो विल स्टार्ट विद दिस कि ये होता क्या है, what is intellectual properties and what is patent filing. So I will not go much in the patent filing because I have not seen any of you answering in the domain of like science background or something like that. So we'll take a brief of all the IPs and how we can take the protection and which type of creativity belongs to which type of IP. So first we have to understand what is intellectual property. So intellectual property is a product of human intellect. Means whatever you are creating from your intellect comes under intellectual property. So see, we own many types of property. So today, if someone asks me what property you have, I can say that I own a house, I own a vehicle, I own a laptop, I own a mobile. So how I am calling these things as my own, because I have purchased them. I have given some amount for that and I have purchased them. So I'm saying that these are my properties. And in any financial crisis, I can look this as an asset so that I can take money out of it, or whatever I can do. I can use these assets in my financial crisis. But intellectual property is a little bit different from this. When you talk about intellectual property, it is not something which you have bought through a money, which you have taken from someone else, or which is given to you as a gift. Intellectual property means whatever you have created by yourself from your own intellect. Like I asked you, have you done some paintings? So painting is something nobody has interfered in that. It is from your own mind that creativity has come. Maybe you are copying some paintings. You have seen some landscape on Google or somewhere else, and you are just copying it. Even though you are copying it, that particular painting which you have made belongs to you, and that is your intellectual property. Because though you have copied it, but when you have copied it, becomes yours. So today I am giving this lecture. Every one of you may take a notes of it, may make a notes of it. Since it is one lecture, everybody is listening to the same lecture. Everybody will note the same thing. But still, all of you will have their own copyright or own right on the notes which you are making. Why? Because that is your notes. Suppose here I am saying in English, maybe you are comfortable in Hindi, you are writing in Hindi, someone is writing in Marathi, someone is writing in Punjabi, or maybe everybody is writing in English. But your language will be different in your own notes. So that particular notes will belong to you, and that will considered as your intellectual property. This is just a small example. I'm not saying that you have to take a notes, you have to take a protection for your notes. But of course, if you are making some important notes that can be helpful for further generations, for your juniors or someone else, and you can make commercials out of it, you can sell those notes, then of course you have to go for the protection of your notes also. So I hope I'm clear here that what is intellectual property and how it is different from our normal properties which we own. So what are intellectual property rights? So once we create an intellectual property, the government of India, having a branch called Intellectual Property Office, they give you some rights. They give rights to the creators of the intellectual property, and this right will be an exclusive right. Exclusive right means if I am owning that property, only I will have that right to manufacture it, to sell it, to make use of it. And if someone else wants to use that for their own use, for their commercial use, they have to take the permission from me. And also, I can ask some remuneration out of it. Like if they're asking me some permission, if they're asking my license for that, I can ask the money out of it. I can take the commercials for that. So this is the general system of intellectual property rights, how it is being enforced, and how you can take the protection. Now there are different forms of intellectual property. So we can also say intellectual property is an intangible property. It gives exclusive rights, and it is given by statutes because it is a government right, it is a legal right, and they give it legally. It is not like you have taken the right and your thing your property is stolen or your creativity has been stolen by someone else, and they will also take the right on that. No, it cannot happen, because it is a legal right. Once you have taken, you have to prove that you are the creator and nobody else is the creator. And if somebody else is taking for the is trying to take the right on the same creativity, they will be asked question that how you are claiming this. So also this thing is attended with limitation and exceptions. So intellectual property have different offices. Like I said, Indian patent office is there, copyright office is there, trademark office is there. So uh, they are attended with some limitations. Limitations means government has not given some exceptions that on these particular things you cannot take the right. Like if somebody like in this corona crisis, you must be hearing this news on like recently Maharashtra government has asked for compulsory license, and the people who have manufactured this COVID vaccine, they have taken a patent over their vaccine. So these are there are some limitations. These limitations says that if in national emergency you have manufactured something, you cannot you can take the patent over it, but you have to give it to the public for free for that particular time, or you have to give it to them at the minimum cost. And also few things are there wherein you cannot take the protection, like you cannot claim that this plant belongs to me because I have grown it, or maybe it is a new kind of plant but you have discovered it, you have not grown it, it is a naturally occurring plant, so you cannot claim a plant to be yours. Similarly, mathematical formulas are not given patents, but they come under some other IP. Also, it is a time bound. Time bound means once you take the protection, it is given for some limited period of time. So there are different time bounds for different type of IP. Like if you are taking for patent, it will be for 20 years. If you are taking a trademark, it will be for 10 years. Some IP can be renewed, some IP cannot be renewed, right? Then next is territorial. Territorial means if you're taking a right in India, it will only be limited to India. You cannot sue a person who belongs to US and who is copying your idea for which you have taken a protection in India. So suppose I have a patent over suppose a new type of mask for this COVID scenario, and I have taken a patent over it in India. Now somebody else in US has started manufacturing it and started selling it without taking my permission, without paying me anything. Now I don't have any right to stop that person in US to manufacture it without my permission, because I have taken the right in India. So this is called territorial. In whatever territory you take the protection, in that territory only you have the legal rights. Others can copy it, infringe it without your permission. So if you feel that your thing is also commercially important in other countries, you have to go for international patent filings so that you can stop others from infringing your product. So there are different types of IPR. Like I asked you what type of work you do. So whatever works you have told me comes under different type of IPR. So first is the patent. We'll talk about few of this in detail in the later slides. So just for an introduction here I am giving. So patent belongs to anything, any creativity which has come out of scientific knowledge or something belonging to scientific or technology. So anything you are creating as as a result of some scientific principle or some because of some technology, then it comes under patent. So for example, whatever you are using right now, mobile, laptop, earphones, then charging for chargers, power banks, then these are all electronic, then mechanical also. Whatever comes under science background, that is called as patents. So if you think that you have created something in that area, then and not only products, also the method. So a method of manufacturing a COVID vaccine can also be patented. Also, the vaccine can be patented as a product, but also the method of manufacturing it can also be patented. Then next comes copyright. So I will tell you about copyrights also in the later slides. Then trademarks, trade secrets, geographical indications I have not covered. So here I will cover. Geographical indications, I believe all of you must be aware of this geographical indication a little bit. So let me ask you this question. Um, just I will give you a little bit idea so that you will know that you can give me the answer. So geographical indications are the IP which are given to specific region. It does not belong to one individual. It belongs to one region and to a product, and the characteristics of that product is special because of that regional environment, or you can say climatic conditions of that region. For those products, government gives geographical indication that is called GI for that particular region. So, can you give me some examples if you are like, if something strikes to you that, okay, yeah, this can be a GI. So, GI are given to some products which have some characteristics because of the climatic conditions of that region. Climatic conditions or whatever, geographical, because the name itself says geographical indication means because of the geography of that particular region, that product has developed that characteristic, and that is why we call that product belongs to that city or that state, and we have given the name as that, that this is their copyright, or this is their whatever, you can say this is their intellectual property. So can you give me some example? I hope like you must be thinking some of the name. There are many, and we everybody knows about it. I know, but I'm not sure that if the like correct thing has strike you right now. Yeah, please. I want to know that any of you will. Okay, let me help you. I'll give you one example. So, oranges of Nagpur are GI of Nagpur. Oranges are given GI for Nagpur region. Now you tell me other. Yes, Kolhapuri chappal, Darjeeling tea, very good. And similarly, we have many others. So we daily hear about this that okay, this particular thing has given been GI for this. Agra Petha, yeah, Kullu shawl, okay. So recently, we have received one GI for West Bengal, that is Rasgulla of West Bengal. So Mamta Banerjee has asked for this, that this particular Rasgulla, the taste of that particular Rasgulla is only from West Bengal. Now you must be thinking how Rasgulla is associated with the geography. So, because they have claimed that the rasgulla is made from that milk, and the milk is from the cattle, and that cattle of that geography is producing that particular milk because of the grass available in that region. So, because of the grass and all, whatever the cow is eating, that milk she is producing, because of that taste of that milk, different taste, the rasgullas taste are different in West Bengal. So, because of this, they have given GI rasgullas in this West Bengal. Yes, Basmati is also one of the GI. Like Kesar is in Jammu, and there are many. So everything has some different characteristic, and that will be like you will get to know because today you have heard about it. Now you will, whenever you listen that okay, this is because of this GI belongs to this region, you will definitely think that why this belongs to here. So a Nagpur orange, everywhere, many places oranges are grown, but the taste of Nagpur oranges are different because of the climatic conditions of Nagpur. So that is why they have given this GI. Now, industrial design I will cover, and plant varieties means there is a different domain for farmers. If you are growing some different kind of plant because of some mutation or some kind of thing, then those farmers or those biological people are given this plant variety protection. Then semiconductors belongs to specially for electrical and electronical people who are developing some new kind of semiconductor designs and integrated circuit designs. Basically, chip design or a circuit design, if they are developing, they cannot go under any other IP. They have to come to this semiconductor designs, and they can take a protection for that. So we'll start first with the copyright,
Can you tell
because
me hello?
hello, yeah,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah, can you tell me something about artwork copyright?
Yeah. So I told you that we are going for one by one to all the IPs. So you may know that in which IP your artwork belongs, right? So let me complete this. Then later on at the end, if my thing is not covering your question, then we can take forward, right? So we'll start with copyright. Initially, when I asked you that what all creativity you have done till now, you can tell me. So copyright is one of the domain where most of us will have a creativity, and we can have a this copyright protection for most of our works. So a copyright domain is a protection of literary and artistic work. Both of these works belong to copyright. So literary means if you are writing poems, if you are writing books, if you are writing uh, blogs, if you are writing articles, if you are anything, whatever literary kind of work you are doing, computer programs also comes under this, mathematical formulas also come under this. Whatever you are writing literary, then it comes under copyright protection. Also music, because you know music can be written, so music is comes under copyright. Then artistic work also belongs to copyright, like paintings, sculptures, and monumental designs, whatever they are making, and whatever creative artistic work you are doing. So there are a lot of many, I cannot list them all. So I hope this word literary and artistic defines the meaning of copyright. Also, it is expression of thoughts and not ideas. So if I'm saying I have a new idea of a new painting, I want to draw a lady sitting on that hill like that, and if I say that I can write this and I want a protection for this, no, you cannot take a protection on an idea. You have to draw it, you have to execute it, then only you can say that I have a copyright, intellectual property, and I want a copyright protection for that. So it is expression of thoughts. Until you express it, you cannot take a protection for it, right? So these are some example: books, paintings, sound recordings, even Taj Mahal. The architect of the Taj Mahal comes under copyright. So I hope many of you, whatever you have said, comes under their creativity belongs to this copyright only. So for taking protection of copyright, it is a very simple procedure. You can approach any legal associate or a patent attorney or an IPR associate. It doesn't cost you much, but I will like to tell you here that when you take a copyright protection, make sure that you are able to enforce it. Enforcement of copyright is very difficult. Why? As you know, like in books itself. So when you were studying in some like graduation or something like that, we know that there were many books of very good authors or writers, which we wanted, which were suggested by our professor that you should read your physics syllabus from this book, but they were very costly. At that time, we have seen many vendors selling a copy of that book. What they were doing, they are doing a Xerox copy of 1,000 rupees book, and they were selling it at 500 rupees, 400 rupees. For us as a student, it was very beneficial. We used to buy those copies, those were pirated copies, and we used to buy those copies and just read it and use it. But that was a very big infringement of the person who is the creator, owner of that particular book. So enforcement is very difficult. If you are the owner of a copyright book, of a book, you don't know at a small place some vendor is doing some Xerox copy and selling it to students. You don't know. So enforcement is difficult. Similarly, for paintings, you can take a copyright, but ensure that you have done a digital copy of it, and you make sure that, see, for everything it is like that, not only for copyright, but copyright is something which is very much available. Like creativity is everywhere. Even if someone is from science and technology department, if he is having an office, he will have a painting in his office. Some restaurant he is opening, he will have something to decorate his restaurant. So everywhere creativity is there. So creativity is something which is very much useful, and it has a high potential. But at the same time, infringement is more because people who cannot afford, or who want to sell their products, they will just infringe your thing and they will copy and they will sell. So for painting people, like those who do painting, I will let you know that make a digital copy of your painting. There is a huge market for this, because I would like to tell you that here that some big companies take an example of McDonald's, or Cafe Coffee Day (CCD). So whenever you enter these their premises, you will see that most of the, like, whether you go in Delhi, whether you go in Dehradun, whether you go in Nagpur, or in any city you go, mostly like 95% of the environment, the inside environment is same. They maintain the same environment in each of their offices. Why? In each of their restaurants. Why? Because they have that standards that, okay, if I'm using this painting in this office, they will use that same painting in all of their offices, whether in India or US or Japan. So this is their standard. So what they do when they select a painting, they will select some digital painting. Suppose your painting is digitally available and you have written that this has been copyrighted. What they will do, they will just ask you, they will call you, they will take a permission and they will buy that painting from you, and you can sell to them at a very good price. And your painting, you will only give a digital copy of it, right? So when you give a digital copy, they will do the copies and they will have a right of digital, like making a digital copies, more digital copy and also physical copies. When you do a physical, like when you only have a physical painting, you cannot claim a digital copy of it. It will be very difficult for you if someone is asking, like like McDonald's, they will ask you to give 200 same painting you cannot make again and again, right? Every time, even if you are only the creator, again and again, if you're making the same painting, some difference will definitely be there. So that is why nowadays digital paintings are very much in market. What they do, they just make one painting, and exact similar kind of paintings they can make, manufacture 100 copies, and they will sell it to such this type of big companies like McDonald's, CCD, because they have to maintain the same environment in all the offices. Then for books also, I will say whenever you write, don't go for the publishing first, go for the copyright, because many of the writers don't know that publishers take the copyright of their books. Uh, no writer is having their copyright. Why? Because they give all their rights to the publisher, and publisher enjoys all the copyright. So whenever you write something, first take a copyright and then go to the publisher and tell him that I already own a copyright. Now you publish it. In that case, if you are having a copyright, you can publish your book with two publishers. Suppose today you have given a book to one publisher and you don't like the terms with them and they are not selling, they are not going doing good marketing for you. You can go to a different publisher also, because you own a copyright. Why writers stuck? Because they give all the rights to one publisher. Now they cannot do anything with that book, because that publisher will have all the rights, and they can do whatever in whatever conditions. If they want to market, they will market. If they don't, if they will not. So like that they do. So to stop that thing, you have to make a smart move. First take the copyright and then decide which publisher is good. You can give two three, you can give your book to two three publishers also in that case. So this was about copyright, which was important. And copyright infringement, I already told you, even if you are doing, someone can send you that notice if you are making infringement. uh, comes under copyright means the films which are produced comes in. Ma'am, am I audible now? Hello, Swati ma'am, am I audible now? Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so whole film industry come under copyright, and you know this infringement stories in Bollywood like Houseful. Houseful movie has used one song "Apni To Jaisi Taisi," which belongs to the original movie Lavaris. Now these people filed a case against them for copyright infringement, and later on they removed. Same with this Three Idiot story, wherein Chetan Bhagat filed a case against this Three Idiot Rajkumar Irani for not giving or not giving the importance to that this Chetan Bhagat. But later on, Rajkumar Irani won the case because he paid whatever amount Chetan Bhagat asked for. But what Chetan Bhagat was claiming that his name should be shown and brought in a bold way while when you start the movie. So, but this was not written in the agreement. So that is why Rajkumar Irani won the case. So next we'll go to trademarks. Now copyright is over where your creativity and things come. Now suppose after doing a copyright, uh, after your creativity, you have taken a copyright, you have a paintings, you have blogs. Now you thought that I should start a business for it. I should make a startup. I can start a any small venture to sell these products, whatever you are making, whatever creativity you have done. So you can take a copyright first, and then you can come to a trademark. So trademark is for the uh, brand registration. So suppose you have started one new company, and so what trademark does? Now suppose I'm going for to buy a mobile phone today. So how I will decide? What you say when you go to buy a smartphone? What you decide? Like tell me. Like when you go to start, when you go to buy a smartphone, what do you think first? Like what is the first thing which comes into your mind? That what I will buy? Do you think that I will buy a phone with a good camera? Yes. We think of the whatever features they will be that phone will be giving to us. But before that, according to our budget, we decide the company of that phone, right? Always we think like, okay, now I will buy a Apple phone. Now I will buy this time I will buy a OnePlus phone or a Samsung phone or a Nokia or something based on our budget. Now suppose two companies are having giving same type of phone in one budget, then we think of the features. No, I need these features, and based on the features I will decide which company's phone I will buy. So first thing which comes to my mind whenever I go to buy something is trademark. So basically what trademark does in your mind, trademark is nothing but a company name, right? But how we have associated with the product is because of the quality that product is given to us. So I know that how Apple is better and how Apple is not good for me. So if I want to buy a 20,000 phone, I will never think of an Apple because I know Apple will not come in 20,000. So, but if I think that I want a very good quality phone with all the features and some high technologies, then I will definitely think of Apple because I know that Apple is giving a very good features, and they are technologically higher than Android phones. So somewhere I know this thing. So I will decide based on the features, and these features are associated with their trademark. So why you have to register your trademark? To just distinguish it from the other person. to distinguish your product from other people. You are also doing the same thing and others are also selling the same thing. How you will say that your thing is better, how people will remember you, is because of your trademark. Now I know that I have to buy this thing, so this person is giving me, so I will know that okay, this product or this company, this logo is better for me, I will always buy a product from this. So this is how you distinguish your product from others. The trademark is basically registered for that only. These are some examples where we just by the name we know that okay, this must be very costly, okay, this must be very good in terms of features, like that. So by seeing the logo we know the quality of the product. And this is what we have to do with our products, this is what we have to do with our products and services when we start a business. Because today maybe you are just selling it to 20 people, one city you are limited, but somewhere after 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, you will be having a very good business. And that time you won't be able to take a trademark because somebody may have stolen your trademark and maybe they have taken a protection for your trademark. That time you won't be able to claim that this trademark belongs to me. Remember, IP says, intellectual property office says, who comes first, who claims first will be given the importance, right? So even if, because if I am using your trademark, I have taken a trademark protection, you are not unknown, you are just leading your business with your own name, and 5 years have started, like before 5 years only you have started your business, today I'm taking the using your name. You have to start a legal case against me that you have already stabilized, like gain a your name is already famous, you have already used that name for your own business, and there would be a case. So why to go in that length? You just first decide that this name belongs to me. And first thing when you do after doing a company registration is take a trademark protection for your company name, so that people will know that okay, this company belongs to you and they won't be using your company name without asking you. Then next is industrial design. This is also very important, and it will be also somewhere related to all of you, because industrial design is also something which we do in our daily lives, in terms of creativity. So industrial designs, like in this is shown in this cup. So the the design of this cup is somewhere different, and I can go for an industrial design registration for this. So industrial design means whatever appeals to a customer's eye can be a industrial design. If I'm making something, if I'm making some product which is already available in the market, you don't have to worry that you are creating it some whatever. You don't have to do that creation part. You just have to make it more appealing. If I'm going in this summer, if I want to go to buy some water bottle, I can just go in the market and whatever appeals to my eye first, I will pick that bottle first. Suppose 1 liter bottle, so in that 1 liter row, I will first pick the bottle which will appeal to my eye. So you know that if child is going, he will go by the color. If some even we as a grown up, we go with the outlook of that bottle. If the outlook of the bottle is more appealing to you rather than the features of that bottle, you will mostly, in case of females, I will say that this is more prominent, that they will go with the looks of that particular product rather than the features. Though we also see the features, but if looks are very much appealing, you will go with the looks. So according to a survey, 80% of the customers, 80% of the sales have been increased just by improving the appealing factor of some products. So if you think that you can improve appealing factor of any of the products available inside, like in the market, anyway, like if you're sitting right now and seeing something, whatever is around you, and you think that I can improve, it can be more beautified, then you can just do it and you can file a design registration for that. Manufacturing you can do later, but first you should have a idea, expression of thoughts for that. There are many softwares where you can just work out on it that whether it will work, whether such type of design will work for this product. You can check that in that softwares, and then you can go for the design registration and later on for the mass level of manufacturing. So this type of industrial design include medical instruments, watches, jewelries. Even people who are making jewelries, they can go for industrial designs. Housewares, electrical appliances, luxury items, vehicles, architectural structures, textile design, everything. Textile designs here means all the saris and fashion designers who make some uh, different type of textile design. They can also go for industrial design registration. Here you have to note that it does not protect any technical feature. If you say that some because of some mechanics this bottle is looking like this, you can protect the look of that bottle but not the technical features of that bottle. That opening from this, you will get the medicines in that bottle. It will have a timer that okay, your medicine time is now started, like you have to take the medicine, you have to take a drink of like sip of water, whatever features they are having. These features are not protected in industrial design, but you can protect the look of that particular bottle. So examples like this type of works are also there in industrial design. uh, you can see different designs. So chairs, different type of chairs. So you can see that just because of the design, a person will choose to buy this chair rather than just a simple chair. Watches, we mostly go with the looks of the watch to buy a new watch. So there is a huge market for industrial design. If you have any idea, you should go for a protection for your industrial design as well. Then next is patent. So patent is mostly, I told you that it is for the scientific and technical feature of anything, of any product. So patent gives you monopoly right. It is granted by the government and it is for the disclosure of your invention. So you have to actually tell government how you come up with that product, how you have actually made it. You have to disclose is everything. Yeah, you have to disclose it completely. You cannot hide something from the government. You have to tell that how you come up with this particular thing. If you are saying that I have a new type of device, who can see that during such online lectures, who all are watching on their mobile. See, right now I don't know how many of you are actually listening or not, how many are actually seeing this PPT or not. So if I'm developing such a design, like a device or a sensor, which will let me know that okay, out of 6 participants, only 2 are watching on the mobile and 2 are seeing on my screen, and other 2 are doing some work, and other 2 are just sleeping and like that. So if I have some such type of sensor or a device, I can go. I have to tell how I have developed that. What is the step-by-step process to do that? So that I will do. That I have to tell the government, and government will give me this right for a limited period, that is 20 years. This will be a negative right because only I will be able to use that. If you want to use that, it will, you have to take the permission. Territorial, I already told you, if you are taking a permission, if you are taking a protection in India, you can only enforce it in India. So to go for a patent, what all factors are needed? So you have to understand how you can say that this particular scientific invention is patentable. So there are 3 criteria to determine whether your invention is patentable or not. So first thing is your invention should be novel. Second, it should be non-obvious. And third, it should have an industrial application. So let me explain you this. Novel. Novel means it should be new in the knowledge. Suppose I'm from biological department or computer science background. Now I know many of the, like I have a pretty good knowledge about computer science. If somebody else is saying that in computer science department they have developed some device and they are giving the disclosure for it to the government, now it is published. If I'm reading it, I will be knowing that as a computer science person, this particular knowledge was not available to me, right? Also, how government will decide that whether it is novel or not? Government will decide based on these tests, new versus prior art. Prior art means anything which has been published in the public domain. Either if you have written a blog, article, Google, like you have done, publish it in Google, or any journals, or in any seminars you have given, or videos you have made, or exhibition you have done, everything is considered as in the public domain. If you have done any of these things, then your thing is not novel. So basically, your novelty has been destroyed if you have done any of this thing before taking a patent protection. Of course, after filing a patent, you can do any of this thing. And actually, you have to do all those things. So before going for the protection, you have done any such publication, then your novelty has been killed. Then next is inventive step. So as I said, if I am a computer science person, if I am reading some other disclosure, some other invention related to computer science, for me that invention should not look obvious. Uh, so to make it a simple example, all of us know cooking. So suppose today I am claiming something, I will say that I am claiming a new beverage. That beverage name is I'm giving some different name, and I'm saying that in that beverage I'm taking a 1 cup of water, then 1 cup of tea powder, one spoon of tea powder, 1 spoon of sugar, and I'm just putting half a lemon in it, and it is a new drink for me. It is a new drink, and I want to take a patent for it. Now, you being skilled in cooking, you will be saying this is very obvious. Like I'm saying that this is not a tea, this is a different kind of tea, which is good for which is good, and it is a different kind of tea which I'm saying lemon tea. Now you being skilled in cooking, you will be saying this is very obvious. Anyone can make this lemon tea. It is not a very different kind of tea, right? If someone is coming with green tea, it is obvious. Green tea is not very much unobvious to us that okay, it is something which has been created, which has been manufactured, which has been invented by someone. No, we know that taking those some herbs, it will be a green tea. If I'm saying herbal tree, I know that some herbs will be added to it and it will be an herbal tree. So there is no difference. There you are not doing something different which is not known to the public. So inventive step is defined based to inventive step is said to be inventive if it involves some technical advancement or if it is having some economic significance or both. If you are saying that by developing this particular product according to my method, I am reducing the cost of that product. In that case, I can say that I have an inventive step. So suppose uh, to manufacture a OnePlus mobile, uh, I'm costing like a manufacturer is having a incurring a cost of suppose 20,000. Now I will say that I have a new method through which this mobile will be sold at the price of 5,000. Now you are talking economic significance. Now customers will get benefit out of it. So you can claim that you have a new method wherein you have a economic significance, where you are showing that you can develop same product at a very less price. So you can go for a patent. Next is industrial design. I have not explained it here on the slide. Industrial design means whatever you are creating should have a market value. You just cannot develop something which don't have anything like any market value. You have to show that it should be sellable in the market basically. Whatever you are creating, it should be sellable in the market. Then only you can go for a patent. You just cannot develop something which is not useful to anyone and you are just developing it and keeping it at home. If people need it, then only it is useful. Then only it is called as patent. How you can decide that whether your patent is whether your invention is patentable or not? You can ask these questions to yourself. If your invention is supplying a need to the public, then your patent invention is patentable. If you are solving a long sorted problem, then also it is a patentable thing. If new result is the strongest evidence, you are developing something very much new. So you know that power banks. Earlier, we never thought of power banks. We know that it was a very big problem for everyone who is traveling. If you are traveling for 2 days, 3 days, it is very difficult thing that to search a power like circuit and do a power charging, like charge your phone. Now, somebody who came up with this power bank, it was totally a new technology which nobody has thought. So your result itself is so technologically advanced that you don't have to prove, you can directly go for the patent. And if your invention is adding a human knowledge, now because of this power bank, we get to know that okay, electrical powers can be stored and can be used for the later purpose. So we there is a addition of knowledge to our human stock, that is also patentable. Somewhere I have increased your knowledge, somewhere the creator or the inventor has increased our knowledge in science background, then your invention is not obvious. This is how you can decide whether your invention is patentable or not. So many of you must be thinking that okay, I don't belong to science background, so I cannot file a patent, or I don't have a patent, that is why. So this is just for the motivation I'm telling you. This is not about having a science background, studying in IIT, or working in some very high tech industry. You can develop something at your home. It is only about the need. If you feel that this is a problem and you can think of that solution for it, then you have a patent in your hand. So this Gopal Bise from Maharashtra, he's a cycle weeder. He was given a name cycle weeder because he encountered the problem while weeding his field because of his old age, and he thought of this solution. Do you think he belongs to, or he studied in some very reputed school, or some IIT guy, or somewhere industrially very high-fi profile person? No, he is just a simple farmer. He encountered a problem and he thought of a solution and he developed this. So this is how patents are made. Patents are not at all related to your background or to your certificates or your degrees or your job profile. It is only about how you see the problem and how you see the solution in it. Similarly, this guy, he is having this amphibious bicycle wherein he was encountering the problem while crossing his this river. So he developed this cycle, which is amphibious cycle. He can ride it on road and he can also uh, swim this cycle on the water. So I hope you know that this guy is also not from some very reputed college or industry. Now there are some examples wherein you will know that how patents have, or how this technological advancement have changed our life. Earlier you used to see these SD screens, and now we can see this HD screen, high definition. How? Because of this technological advancements. All these types of scissors are somewhere technologically advanced, and somewhere they are from, every scissor is for some different use. So basically they have done technological advancement based on the application. This scissor is useful for something else, this scissor is useful for something else. So every scissor has their own application and have own technical design based on which they have manufactured. Same way these needles are for different purposes, different technological advancement have been done in them, and they have a different application. So this is how people come up with new advancements in technology. It is not that what is available, you cannot make it again. You can make that same device, which is now it is useful for some other application. So this needle is not useful for doing a surgery, but someone has made a needle to do a surgery, but someone also has made a needle for stitching the cloth. Both are same same type, but different applications and different technology associated with them. Now filing a patent, so there are different kinds. So if you think your invention or your whatever idea is at the ideation level, you still need some time. You can go for the provisional application. and later on you can file a complete specification. You get 12 months to file a complete specification after you have filed a provisional application. So whenever you think you got an idea, you should, as early as possible, you should go with the provisional application so that nobody else can, uh, steal your idea. And why to protect your IP? So IP is here, all the intellectual properties we have covered till now, copyright, trademark, patents. So after this lecture, you must be thinking why I have to take the protection of my IP. So if you don't take the protection, someone else will take the protection, believe me. Because today you are working on that idea, but there are so many people somewhere in Japan must be working on that same idea. You don't know. So maybe you are not taking the protection, but he will develop that same thing and he will take the protection, he will take a patent, he will take a trademark, he will take the trademark for the same company name, same type of poem, same type of picture story you have thought of, and he will make money. That time you cannot do anything because you have not taken the protection when it was required. So if you don't take the protection, someone else will definitely take. It provides a barrier to the entry. You don't like when somebody just use your knowledge and make money out of it, right? If I am giving here a lecture and somebody is recording it and then uploading it on the YouTube and making a money out of it, I won't be liking this because this was my hard work. I am giving this lecture. So you won't be liking that some your creativity is used by someone else for their commercial benefit. So this type of IP protection creates a barrier to the entry of the infringers. Also, it differentiates your product. Once you take the protection, you tell people that my product was different, that is why I got the IP protection for it. If it is similar, you will never get the protection. Because it was different, that is why you got the protection. So once you take the protection, that means you are differentiating your product from others. You can say that your product is different and my product is different. If you are in academics, it will help you to improve your bio. It will also help your organization to commercialize your product and make money out of it. It also provides you an opportunity to start a business for your product. Whatever product you are taking a protection for it, it can be patent, it can be copyright, it can be industrial design. Whatever thing you have, you can start a new business around it. It can be a part-time business as well. It can be a full-time business as well. Then it develops a culture of protecting inventions. So basically when you protect, others will get motivated and it will develop. So you know that in out of 55 countries, India ranks 51 in filing in filing patents. So you can see in such a beautiful country wherein we have so much of talent, we are developing like 2 vaccines have been manufactured and developed by us only. In such a country, if we are lagging this kind of filing patent, that means somewhere we are unaware of the fact that this is need to be done. In US, in other countries, people are so much aware that they have their in-house IP people, they have their in-house IP professionals in each startup also. Whatever they develop, they first take a protection and then market and then disclose it to the public. So they are that much aware because they know how to get money, how to monetize their creativity. So we are not aware. So what we have to do is develop this culture of protecting your invention, protecting your IP. Then fundamental rules, how you can start thinking, how you can create. If you have not created till now, think of the needs which are unserved to the public, unsatisfactory needs. People are already using it, but they are not satisfied with the products. You can think of those products, that how you can modify it. Things which are served at higher rates, like I told you, this OnePlus phone, it is costing 35,000. Someone may be liking this feature, but they are not able to buy it. Someone may be liking iPhone, but they are not able to buy it. Now you are developing a feature, you are developing a method wherein you can sell the same features, same type of quality at 5,000, 10,000 rupees. So now you are serving the needs which are served at higher cost. Latent needs which are coming, which are there, the needs which are there in the public. Emerging needs, like in this COVID scenario, there are many emerging needs. Everybody needs digital platform, Everybody need to know that what are the online platforms through which you can give the lectures, through which you can give free lectures without paying much to the owner of the online platform, like that. All these are needs. So in this scenario, you can develop many other things which are the emerging needs. So this is for the like college level thing, that how you can manage the technology in your organization. You have to find out the products whatever your company is developing, your employees are developing. You have to do the patent search. You have to find the validity, and then you have to seek the technology transfer. So there is a thing, technology transfer, wherein if you have developed a product, you can just transfer it to someone who is to a company, and you can take a money out of it. Like you can just sell your product to that person, sell your patent to that company, and then you can take a money out of it, because you cannot manufacture it alone. There should be a company who can manufacture, who can supply to a larger amount of people. So for such thing, you can do a technology transfer. How you can identify your problem? Like I said, that Gopal Vise from Maharashtra and from that Bihar, how they encountered with the invention, like how they come up with the invention. They encountered some problem. They saw that if there any solution available in the market, they saw, done a Google search, they done a patent search. No, there is no idea. Then you can come up with a new idea. Whatever idea you are developing, first do the experimentation of that work idea. If it works, then your problem is solved. When once you solve the problem, take the protection of your solution. This is the cycle of developing anything. With this, I will end my lecture. So points to be remember, whatever I told you till now, is you should never do a prior publication before you do a filing of your patent. You should never do an article publication, press release, conference presentation, poster, whatever we do generally whenever we come up with something new. Never do that before taking a protection of that, because once it is in the public domain, it kills the novelty. Somebody will steal it, and you may not get the protection. So before doing that, first take the protection. You should not sell your products before taking the protection of it. You should not give lectures on that. Even in case somewhere you are required to do that, give that lecture, do non-disclosure agreement with the person or with the organization. Whenever you feel that you have to do something which is not to be done, you seek professional advice, file before others do. And according to a survey, 25% of the R&D efforts are wasted because people are doing the same kind of invention. Because you are doing a search on Google, and Google gives you only 20% of the data. So there are different databases for patent. If you think you have done something new in technology, then you should go for a professional advice, and they will do a search on professional patent databases, and they will let you know whether your like whatever invention you have developed, same kind of protection have taken by somebody else or not. You will do a search on Google, and Google is like after developing the product, once it comes in the market, then it comes into Google. So it is after 2 3 years it comes in the Google. So you have a backdated data on Google basically when it comes to patents. So don't do that thing. Don't start your R&D until you have done a search. So this was it from my side, and I will like to know your questions. And this is my contact details in case you need our services, you have any queries related to IP or your creativity, you can contact me. And also there is a website, so that you can visit there. You can see there are some like sections in my website wherein we have whatever I have told you now, what are IP. If you have any doubt, you can go there. There is a section opportunities. You can learn about IP whenever you get any doubt. And also it is a very good career. So for those here who are into their graduation or into their into the beginning of their career start, they can think IP as their career also. So let me know in case you have any doubts. And now you can ask me questions if you have.
I'm not able to. Yeah, yes. Swati left the chat. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Megha, for such a wonderful session. Yes, I have got some few queries.
Swati ma'am, your voice is not audible now.
Can you hear me now? Megha, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, fine, fine. So if anybody else has any query, please ask Megha. Otherwise, I will put my query. And please, can you please switch on your videos? Okay, Megha, thank you for such a wonderful session. I have got two, three queries which I will like to ask you. First, that as you know, I've got a women group on Facebook. So,
Yes.
under which patent it will come, or how can we get it registered so nobody else take this name from us?
Okay, so We Women, as such, the name can go under trademark. So
Okay.
because it is your brand name, you are using it, you have developed a logo out of it. So you can take a trademark registration for that.
Okay. Second is that we are doing a business shower, women with business shower. This is a concept I brought in 2006, and I think we are only person who are doing it. So how can we get it registered so that nobody can take this concept from us?
Okay, so basically, because it is a concept, it is not in the physical format. You have to either write it, like if it is a concept, you have to write it in a format. Then you can take a copyright protection for that. Otherwise, you cannot take for a concept, because I told you in copyright also it is expression of thoughts. Unless you write it down, you cannot take a protection. So it cannot be about the idea. You are executing it, but you have to show it down to the government that how you are doing it, what are the steps. You are saying that it is a new type of thing. Whatever you are saying, you have to write it in a particular format, and then you can take a copyright for it.
And how much is the costing and everything? How much time does it take and how much is the costing?
Okay, so every IP has a different cost. Some government fees are different. So for copyright, it goes around 2 to 3,000 only. It is the cheapest,
Okay.
including the government fees of 500 rupees. For trademark, it is something costly because government fees itself is 4,500. Then searching cost and all involved, so it goes around 10,000. The total fees of protection, and time limit, I will say minimum 1 month for copyright, like 1 month it takes minimum for copyright and trademark. But if some issues come, like they will do the search, and if they find something similar to yours, they will give some objection. So I will reply to them, whatever who will be your professional person, they will reply. So that may take time, and because of COVID, they are little slow. So otherwise, if everything is clear, then within 1 month it happens.
माय थर्ड क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि हम सब ने पेटेंट पेटेंट सुना है पर हमने साथ में ये भी सुना है बहुत महंगा होता है मतलब
Hmm.
इस अवर जनरल व्यू की बहुत महंगा
Hmm.
होता है कि अगर कोई साइंटिफिक
हाँ,
रिसर्च हुई है और आपको
हाँ.
लगता है यू कैन अर्न ए लॉट देन ओनली यू शुड गो टू इट. सो कितना ये ट्रू है कितना ये सही है? मतलब
ये बिल्कुल ट्रू है, क्योंकि जहाँ आप रहते हैं दिल्ली में, वहाँ मैं वर्क कर चुकी हूँ इन पेटेंट डिपार्टमेंट, और मुझे पता है वहाँ पे एक पेटेंट का 2 से 3 लाख रुपए चार्ज करते हैं, जहाँ पे मैं वर्क करती थी। बट जो मेरा फर्म है, जो हम लोग ने स्टार्ट किया है, उसका मोटिव ही ये था कि हम इस सर्विसेज को एक ऐसे रीजनेबल कॉस्ट पे दें जिसपे हमारे जो प्रोफेशनल्स इस पे वर्क कर रहे हैं उन लोगों को भी सही, क्योंकि इसको हम लोग को भी बहुत टाइम लगता है करने के लिए। क्योंकि आप अगर सपोज बायोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट से हैं और मैं मैथमेटिक्स से हूँ, तो मुझे आपका इन्वेंशन पूरा समझना पड़ेगा, उसको एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेट में लिखना पड़ेगा। एक किसी और के इन्वेंशन को समझना और लिखना और उसको एक गवर्नमेंट के लीगल फॉर्मेट में लिखना, उसको हम लोग को 7 से 10 दिन लगता है। तो हमारा भी एक कॉस्ट होता है जो हम लोग को लीगल प्रोफेशनल्स को देना होता है। तो हम लोग ने एक मिनिमम कॉस्ट ऐसा रखा है जिसमें हम लोग भी अफोर्डेबल रहे, और सामने वाला जो पर्सन है, अगर वो पेटेंट बनाता है तो उतना कॉस्ट तो वो अपने इसमें से निकाल ही सकता है। और हम लोग को हर सिटी का, हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का ये पता है कि वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट कितना रीइंबर्स करती है। तो हमारा जो कॉस्ट है वो हमेशा ही गवर्नमेंट के रीइंबर्समेंट में आ जाता है। जैसे मिनिमम 1 लाख रुपीज गवर्नमेंट देती है रीइंबर्समेंट में, और हम लोग जो हमारी कॉस्टिंग होती है टिल फाइलिंग, वो 30,000 35,000 तक ही रहती है, गवर्नमेंट की सारी फीस इंक्लूड करके। तो ये आपकी पूरी कॉस्टिंग रीइंबर्स हो सकती है। बट पेटेंट वन स्टेज नहीं है, उसमें 2-3 स्टेजेस होते हैं। फाइलिंग के बाद ऑब्जेक्शन आता है, हियरिंग आती है, तो हर स्टेजेस की फीस होती है। तो टोटल आप समझ सकते हैं 70-80,000 तक जाता है 2-3 साल में, लेकिन वो पूरा कॉस्ट आप रीइंबर्स कर सकते हैं गवर्नमेंट से।
ओके। हाँ, क्योंकि हम लोगों के दिमाग में यही रहता है कि इट्स वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, तो हम
हाँ।
ट्राई भी करते हैं कि कुछ मतलब करवाएं। अच्छा, एक मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन ये है, जैसे वी वुमेन ग्रुप के अंदर मैं देखती हूँ जो सेलर्स हैं वो फोटोज दे कीप ऑन पुटिंग, लेकिन कई बार मुझे लगता है क्या उनके पास राइट्स हैं फोटोज डालने के लिए, वो डाल रहे हैं, कहीं वो लीगल ऑब्जेक्शन में आएगा नहीं आएगा?
ओके।
इज देयर एनीथिंग, मतलब कि वेदर दिस इज द करेक्ट मेथड टू सेल और नॉट?
सेलिंग का मुझे लगता है अगर वो सेल कर रहे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं से वो प्रोडक्ट वो लोग ले रहे हैं। तो अगर मैंने वो प्रोडक्ट खरीदा है तो मैं सेल करने के हिसाब से उसका कितना भी प्रमोशन कर सकती हूँ। बट अगर मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि ये डिजाइन मैंने डेवलप किया है और फिर मैं सेल कर रही हूँ, तब वो डिफरेंट है। तो मुझे लगता है
ओके।
वी वुमेन ग्रुप में जनरली वो लोग सिर्फ प्रमोशन के लिए बेचते हैं कि हमारे पास ये सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, आप इसमें से खरीद सकते हैं, तो वो कर सकते हैं। बट दे आर नॉट क्लेमिंग कि ये मैंने हमारे यहाँ कस्टमाइज डिजाइन्स है। अगर वो ये बोल रहे हैं देन दे आर सम एंड यूजिंग समवन एल्स डिजाइन एंड दे आर सेइंग कि हमने कस्टमाइज किया है, तब वो लोग कुछ गलत कर रहे हैं। तो बेसिकली सेलिंग के लिए आप कर सकते हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने खरीदा
ओके,
है कहीं से।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच मेघा।
या
और एक, हम अगर किसी के पास कोई क्वेरी नहीं है तो प्लीज वीडियो ऑन करके हम एक ग्रुप फोटो ले लेते हैं सबकी। नहीं मेघा, सबसे अच्छा तो वो रसगुल्ले वाला सुन के लगा मुझे क्योंकि वो कैटल खाना खाती है, घास हमारी है, तो इट वॉज ए वेरी
हाँ।
नाइस एग्जाम्पल कि हाँ कहाँ से क्या लिंक हुआ है। इट वॉज ए वंडरफुल एग्जाम्पल जो हम कभी भूल नहीं सकते हैं।
क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी, जैसे कोल्हापुरी चप्पल एंड ऑल के लिए भी मुझे बहुत क्वेश्चंस आते थे कि ये कैसे जीआई होगा। आप संतरे के लिए बोल सकते हो कि जीआई है, क्योंकि यहाँ के नागपुर का जो क्लाइमेट है वो गर्म रहता है, उसके कारण संतरे का टेस्ट अलग होता है। बट आप चप्पल के लिए कैसे बोल सकते हैं? तब मुझे पता चला चप्पल के लिए जो रबर आता है, वो रबर जिस जगह से आता है, वो ट्रीज से जिससे यूज होता है, वो ट्रीज इस जगह की पर्टिकुलर है, इसके कारण उस रबर का टेक्सचर ऐसा है या क्वालिटी ऐसी है, इसीलिए वहां की चप्पल फेमस है। या वहाँ की जो डिजाइन है वो वहीं के ओरिजिन लोगों ने बनाई है। जैसे जो कशीदा वर्क ये जो होता है, वो वहीं के ओरिजिनल लोगों ने बनाई है, वहीं से आई है, तब उनको वो जीआई दिया जाता है। तो ये सब मुझे भी बाद में पता चला। और ये रसगुल्ले के लिए बहुत सारा अपोजिशन भी आया था, क्योंकि वेस्ट बंगाल के जस्ट बाजू में उड़ीसा आता है। तो उड़ीसा वालों ने इस पे केस डाला था कि ये कैटल्स हमारे ये सेम रसगुल्ले का टेस्ट हमारे यहाँ पे भी है। तब फिर वेस्ट बंगाल ने इस पे डिफेंड ये किया था कि ये कैटल्स वहां यहाँ से वहां माइग्रेट हुई है, इसीलिए उनका टेस्ट सेम है। तो ये हमको ही बिलोंग करता है, वेस्ट बंगाल को ही। तो बेसिकली क्रॉस बॉर्डर होती है कैटल्स वगैरह, तो वो यहाँ का ही ग्रास खा के वो वहां माइग्रेट हुई है, और वहां का मिल्क भी वैसा ही टेस्ट करता है जैसे वेस्ट बंगाल का करता है। तो उन्होंने वो क्लेम किया था, बट वेस्ट बंगाल ममता बनर्जी ने वो डिफेंड किया था केस की ये हमारे यहाँ की वहां माइग्रेट हुई है, तो इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ आवर ग्रास ओनली दैट टेस्ट इज सेम।
बट ये आई रियली मतलब इतना डीप में हमने नाम ही सुना था. फॉर मी इट वाज समथिंग इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स होते हैं, बट आज सुन के मतलब इट्स रियली फेल्ट गुड कि हाँ कितना डिटेलिंग होती है. और जो एग्जांपल्स आपने दिए हैं अभी कोल्हापुरी चप्पल और रसगुल्ले का, तो वो तो इज समथिंग शायद आने वाले दिनों में जो भी मिलेगा आई विल बी लाइकिंग टू टेल देम कि हाँ भाई ऐसा कुछ होता है.
Yeah.
श्वेता जी आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगी क्या?
आप मुझसे बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ जी हाँ.
जी जी जी, इट वॉज अ वेरी एनरिचिंग एक्सपीरियंस. अच्छा लगा सुनकर. इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग हो तो प्लीज शेयर करिए. मुझे थोड़ा सा पार्ट इसका मिस करने लगा था बिकॉज आई वाज ऑन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, मेरा कॉल आ
मुझे
गया
मेगा से पूछना पड़ेगा. कैन आई शेयर द रिकॉर्डिंग मेगा?
Yes, yes.
This
You can
part of
share.
this fact that I had to, I had no option.
डन है. हम
Yes,
लोग ये रिकॉर्डिंग
interesting.
जो है वी विल पुट ऑन अ कार्यशाला पेज. अब हमने मेगा से परमिशन ले लिया, अभी रिकॉर्ड भी कर लिया है. सो वी आर नॉट इन एनी
Yes, because
बुलाई
कार्यशाला
बस
is
वी
an
शुड
NGO.
पुट इट ऑन.
तो
हाँ.
हाँ, क्योंकि कार्यशाला और मूवी वुमन दोनों ही एक एनजीओ के से वर्क करते हैं, तो लर्निंग पर्पस के लिए कभी भी आप कोई भी ऑडियो यूज कर सकते हैं, वीडियो यूज कर सकते हैं बिना परमिशन के भी. और अगर आप यूट्यूब पे भी डाल रहे हैं तो अगर आप एनजीओ है तो आप कभी भी यूज कर सकते हैं,
ओके.
क्योंकि आप
थैंक यू
उससे
सो
कुछ कमर्शियल बेनिफिट नहीं ले रहे हैं.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Very interestingly, I like to share that जो एक नीम यहाँ पर नीम की टीम थी, नवदान्या ने ये बेसिकली डॉक्टर वंदना शिवा के थ्रू वी हैड वन दिस पेटेंट, इंडिया हैड वन दिस पेटेंट नीम के लिए. So
हाँ
I
जी.
had the good fortune of traveling in the whole of Uttarakhand in the hills of Garhwal with the team, and there was one lawyer called Fritz Dolder. He's from Switzerland, and the entire team who had fought this team case. So we traveled over there in Uttarakhand, and it was a very very interesting experience. वहाँ पर मैंने देखा कि किस तरह की फार्मिंग होती है, मतलब एक ही जैसे फील्ड में कई तरह की मल्टीपल फार्मिंग्स है डिफरेंट लेयर्स में. So that
हाँ.
saves water and that saves on resources, which was very interesting. So lots of things I learned that time. I was quite few years back I'm talking about.
Okay. Great.
थैंक यू श्वेता. इशिता आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
Yeah, it was a very interesting session. I was not aware about all of this, so I mean, it was very insightful for me. Interesting examples that you shared. I appreciate it. And
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द फीडबैक. हम लोग शायद बीच में हम लोग 11 हो गए थे, अब हम लोग 6 बचे हैं, बट इट हार्डली मैटर्स. सो थैंक यू
Yes.
मेघा सो मच फॉर दिस सेशन. और मैं आपसे कनेक्ट करूंगी. मुझे वी वुमेन करवाना है और वो बिजनेस शॉपर करवाना है. सो फॉर दैट आई विल कनेक्ट विद यू पर्सनली.
Sure.
एंड वी आर क्लोजिंग द सेशन एंड आई विल पुट द रिकॉर्डिंग इन कार्यशाला पेज. तो श्वेता जी आप वहाँ से आप रिकॉर्डिंग ले सकते हो.
हाँ, मैं उसको बस थोड़ा सुनना ही है.
हाँ जी, है ना, वहाँ से ले सकते हो कि ये 1.5 घंटे की रिकॉर्डिंग हो गई, इसको हम मेल नहीं कर पाएंगे एक्चुअली,
Yeah, very true.
है ना. तो ये मैं वहाँ शेयर कर देती हूँ. सो वी कैन and please give a good feedback about this, about Megha also. She took so much of pain in making this PPT and all this thing. तो उससे भी जो प्रेजेंट कर रहा है ना, उसको भी थोड़ा रहता है कि अगली टाइम she will try to be much better, much more, much enthused. तो प्लीज मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी आप लोगों से, प्लीज आप इसके लिए जस्ट गिव प्रोवाइड ए फीडबैक अबाउट द सेशन.
Certainly. I'll do that.
चलो, थैंक यू सो मच. सो वी आर जस्ट डिसमिसिंग द सेशन.
Yeah. Thank you.
ओके जी, बाय.
Yeah. Bye.
इसको कैसे करेंगे? डिसमिस प्लीज. नहीं, वो आएगा ना स्टॉप रिकॉर्डिंग. रिकॉर्डिंग